I'll be making a long stemmed goblet from this 2-inch diameter sapling that was cut down last fall. You can see on the end here there were some check marks. I made a real good tenon here that'll fit into these 4-jaw chucks. So I'm going to reverse it now. I think by the time we're done cleaning up this side, which I'm sure is checked, it'll be about 7 inches from the front of the jaws, which is probably the maximum you'd want to do with this 2-inch diameter. So this is dry. You could opt to try to keep the bark on, especially if it's freshly cut. My experience is that it usually, once it dries, it comes off. You could then try to glue the bark on. But, you know, it's something you could experiment with. It depends on when you cut the wood, the amount of moisture it is once you finally start cutting. A lot of variables. So here, the bowl of this goblet is just going to be a simple triangular shape or cone shape down to the stem. I'll be using a 3/8 inch spindle gouge. Which really, I might go to the half. So the real challenge, I think, in this type of a project is the fact that I'm going to be hollowing something that's, in this case, 7.5 inches from the support with the 4-jaw chuck. So you don't want to go down too thin now. You know you want to make a triangular shape hollow on the inside. So at this point, I'm going to hollow. So it's always a good idea, especially with wood that, in this case, I said it was dry. It's dry relative to freshly cut wood, but it's always a good idea to come in and tighten the 4-jaw chucks, especially since now I'm going to be hollowing. I set the tool rest so that the tip, now I went back to the 3/8 inch spindle gouge, is at center. And you just have to go in gently. I find this is the best way to hollow this, by going in with the spindle gouge and then drawing the tip and the edge out. You're still going to get a lot of moaning. I mean, there's 7.5 inches from the front of those jaws to the front of this. To know what bowl shape you're going for, and I'm going for that cone shape. You have to stop occasionally. Of course, keep an eye out here near the rim to make sure there isn't any cracks, drawing marks. You can see there's vibration coming out, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to at some point think about the depth I want to go. In this case right now we're down about 1.25 inches. So I'm going to go more than that. You'll have to sand a bit. You'll want to finish this bowl part of the goblet before moving to the outside. And another very important thing is, once you get it sanded to your satisfaction, you have to make sure what the depth is. I would eyeball the rim, move my thumbnail to the position, and then transfer that back up. And I now know that that's an accurate point, and that's the actual bottom. Then I would come over a bit and make a dark mark knowing now the distance between here and there is the margin I have. But I know for sure that that's the bottom that's transferred, and that this is a point where eventually, once I get the shape of the bowl portion of this goblet down, I know I want to avoid this part, or else we'll have a funnel. We've all done that. Okay, so I guess a parting cut there in that dark spot. So maybe what I should do is put a cone center into my live center and then support that at this point. Cushion it, of course, because you've sanded it. So let's do that. This is the cone. That'll work well. I'm going to bring it into that rim. Gently bring it up. I could remove some of this, of course. And now I'll go ahead with that parting cut and I'll get support there. Again, I'm not going to go down that far. This is just a mark to where I can now turn that bowl part of the goblet. Watch out how sharp this rim is. It's a good idea now to sand it, knock off that very sharp edge right here. Also, at this point, you certainly don't want to put too much pressure here because you will crack that portion. But at this point, and my preference is the skew, start removing some of this. It's a lot of fun, especially with this damp wood. Don't get carried away though, make sure you give yourself some support here. But at least now I know this is again now it's just a bunch of peeling cuts. And now it's just a series of cuts Get it to where you feel comfortable, but honestly, you gotta go thin. I'm gonna use my 1/2 inch skew. I have to finish this bead now, and I can't go back. It's still too big. Oh, see? I might have screwed up there. Maybe I should tighten it up just a hair. Okay, here we go. I can take more aggressive cuts as we get closer to the support area. And I can't go back here anymore. So it's just a progressive series of cuts. Don't try this with totally dry wood. I think it would be twice as difficult. You really don't want the pith to be in the center. It would be better if the pith is off center and now it's out of there because the pith is weak. So I'm just going to sand that a little bit just to blend it in, but you get the idea. This probably starts to look like watching grass grow. Do I dare a peeling cut, even a delicate one here? Over here, yeah, but I'm not going to do it down there because y'all busted. Sure as heck. And again, I'm going uphill from smaller diameter to large, which is not intuitive for me. I line the bevel where I want it, starting at center at this point with the flutes closed, and then I'm going to rotate the tool a little. It's a video I have on parting tool, cleaning up the parting tool cuts. So here let's try this. Real easy here. Now close the flute again, and now come back. But that camera angle might not show how beautiful that's cut, but it's very nice. So I'm just going to now very gently blend that last part in. And we'll be done here. We'll just part it off. Okay. How do I make that transition? Okay. Now it's an issue of using a parting tool, figuring out how much of this is going to be the base. I think that looks better. I'm going to buy myself some space here. Okay, now I'm going to release the pressure here. Actually, I'll get it right out of here. Let's see what happens. Bring the RPM down. Let's see. Is that a wise thing to do at this point? Let's see. And my hand's going to cover a lot of this, but I have to kind of support it. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. See, it's whipping. Yeah, bring down the RPM a lot because that will whip. But I think you have to get it out of there to make this final parting cut. Slow going. Yeah, I like this. The crack I don't like, but there you go.